Greetings.
Hold, sir, but a moment. A hooded man waits upon the road, clad in a green cloak. He strides forward to meet you as you approach, and at a closer distance his features are revealed for those of a younger man, though lined with weariness. He appears to be favoring his left leg as he walks, and there is a dark stain upon the fabric of his trousers under the knee. Even so, he greets you with a polite bow. I do not know your purpose in traveling this road, friend, but I would warn you against it, for the keep beyond belongs to that tyrant which calls himself Lord Gilded Vale. Like many tyrants, he has surrounded himself with stronger men and women for fear of retribution. We should all welcome the assistance of a brave fellow such as yourself, but I still think you would fare better with some allies. I can handle any threat on my own. Then perhaps you will fare better than we have. Listen, there's not much time, and if you would hazard your life for curiosity, perhaps you will do the same for a nobler purpose. Too long has Gilded Vale suffered under Raedric's madness. He would cure Raedvin's legacy by ensuring there are none alive to be afflicted. I fear his own wife, Ygritte, may be at risk. The man has no mercy in him. I would face him myself and put a blade through his rotten heart, but our last attempt proved costly, and Lord Raedric has called for reinforcements. Our time grows short, and in such times I must beg assistance where I can. I go now to gather what allies I have. Brave the keep if you dare, see Raedric into his grave, and Gilded Vale will count you its savior. May the gods guide your arm.
Saw you in the flames.
Squatting at the base of a statue is an incredibly ugly man, with bulging red cheeks raked by pox scars and a scraggly beard. He's sweating as if he has a fever, but his breathing is measured and steady, like a slow push of a blacksmith's bellows, but that comparison feels strange and unwelcome. The next comparison, possibly sparked by his grin, is that of a bear trap, and then out of nowhere there's a hint of alchemical fire that fades almost as soon as you identify the smell.
Come to pray at the statue? The others are welcome, but it's best if just you and I trade words, and your shadows stay quiet. Hands off their weapons, both arcane and steel. It's only you I want to trade words with anyway. I swear before the whore that is Margaret, no harm will come to you in her shadow, if that's enough of a promise for you. If not...
The staff looks thick, stout, and of blackened ash once burned by a terrible fire. Beneath the ash, the lines of the wood bear shapes and patterns, and there's a certainty that it was made for something far more dangerous. Strange choice of company. Stone seems cold comfort. I could do better, though the roads hold little else until now.
The world holds many whores we worship. Respect comes with honest titles. I bet even you have gone against instinct in exchange for a little copper, or paid for such in countless ways. But if I give offense, if words are all that are left to a man, then why in the Deerwood of all places he should have leave to speak them?
I didn't catch your name, or why you wanted to speak to me.
I didn't give it. You probably find names as useless as I do. The names that litter this world like debris are hard enough to wrap around the tongue. And what do they matter? It's what's beneath the skin and the letters I care about. What burns within. It's more important to me you're a watcher than whatever culture or accent decorates your letters like awkward crowns. Take pride in your actions, not where you hail from, or how your name rolls off whatever liar's tongue coats it now. If you need a title to hang on me to match your own, Watcher, then call me Durance. And as you observe souls, I test them.
How did you know I was a watcher?
I can see the questions bubbling up. Let's burn them away one by one.
I am a missionary. I walk this diseased nation with its heathen, its people so careless with the spirits of others and their own. Watchers among them. Yes, I know you for what you are, and your name doesn't interest me. Names are for honest folk, and you are a crack that shines light from another place. We're meant to travel together, you and I. Saw you in the flames. Not your face, but that soul of yours. All tightened up, like a huntsman's knot.
You saw my soul in the flames.
There's things we can teach each other. If you're in need of answers to your mantle of questions, I don't force my words on anyone other than you. I don't care who walks with you or what their muling problems and politics are. There's enough howling in the world without me stoking that fire. I won't take from your provisions, don't need much on the road. I can carry my weight, which is considerable. Many will stand against you. They probably already have, from what I can see. Left their marks, it seems. Like a trail, worming its way behind you.
If your stone mistress there allows it, then come on.
Her? Don't fear her jealousy. Let us see what the road holds, Watcher.
Alright. Just off the side of the path into Cod Nua stands an imposing figure, a tall, thick-set Alma, clad in worn armor and peering up at the outer walls of the keep. In his hands is a small piece of charcoal, and it works feverishly at taking notes upon a small scrap of paper. More than once he has to reach up to prevent his colorful cap from falling off his head as he gazes upwards. "What are you doing here?" The man looks over at you, blinking in surprise. His face splits wide and very toothily, and he waves his parchment in greeting. "Killing time, if I'm honest. I've already walked the perimeter twice. Their names scratched upon some of the bricks just there. Workers and masons, I expect, carving a little immortality for themselves. It's fine keep, Cade Nua. 2 centuries to its name and abandoned for nearly as long."
But the truly interesting part is in there, and I haven't had much luck in reaching the keep itself. I hoped to find the master of this place, a man by the name of Meyerwald. But it seems that he either holds his privacy most dear, or else has been devoured by his house guests.
What do you want from Meyerwald?
Knowledge. Or, to be less clever about it, a certain text. I've come in search of a great treasure, you see. Not gold or silver, but the Tanvi Oratoa. You might call it the Book of Virtues. It's a sacred text of Rauatai, but we possess only a small fragment of it.
A year I've journeyed in search of the rest, and I found evidence suggesting that the original lies here, beneath the keep. I want to ask Meyerwald if he knows of it. And you, friend, why are you here? That's none of your concern. Oh, I mean no offense. I only thought we could help one another. I'm sure we could reach the keep without trouble together, or at least very brief trouble. Let's go.
Excellent. Lead on, my friend, and I will be at your heels. Ah, wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Wondrous teeth, I nearly forgot. I have, at times, been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exometal they attacked outright. I believe they do not wish for me to find what I am looking for. I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I pay them little mind. Humorless sorts in long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know.
I'll keep an eye out. Let's go.
I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come then. Who knows what we will find inside?
Spectral smoke churns all around you. At first you can see nothing except the haze, but gradually you make out the wizened, hunched shape of an old elven man. His face and bone-thin arms are smeared with paint. You can't do this! He shakes his head, spitting the words at you.
A home! The Nine Claws have lived here almost 50 generations. We were here long before your kind brought war to our lands. You can't just burn it all! Have mercy, soldier! Our warriors have all gone! You can't burn us all because of them! Ah.
Brave does Elon believe.
Of course.
As you come to the end of the great hall, you perceive an inviting warmth radiating from a grand throne wrought of marble, its masterful artistry out of place amongst the castle's more practical stonework. The veiled face of a woman is carved above the throne's backing, watching over the room with hollow eyes. At your approach, you feel the warmth fluctuate as though stirring. A voice rings out from the carving, permeating the fortress through the stone and air.
Another watcher in Cadnua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance.
Who is speaking?
I'm sorry if I startled you. I'm afraid my manners have been slipping. I haven't had much opportunity for introductions lately. In any case, I assume you're here looking for Meerwald.
Are you imprisoned in that throne?
Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins. One of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul.
Where can I
it's not
find?
as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place.
Tell me more about Meerwald.
He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been, so he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it. But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we'd made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me.
Where can I find him?
I can feel his presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind. Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
Yes?
Yes?
Been out playing soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas.
She turns from you long enough to produce a basket that, like her, is shimmering and transparent. And no complaints. You gotta eat your vegetables if you wanna grow up strong and be a real soldier one day. Just like we agreed, right?
Soldiers are important people. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. People like the man who murdered your father.
Mommy, what happened to my father?
Before you were born, the Glanfathans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Audra rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our villages and killed many people. Your father was one of them.
I see.
That's why you'll be a soldier one day. To protect and to avenge. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here.
That's settled. Almost time. Di and Heather scouted the village last night. They're rounding up the rest of the party now. Don't worry, everyone remembers the raid was your idea. The Rio had to go along with it after you'd gotten the rest of the clan riled up. No one wants it said that the Nine Claws were too cowardly to stand with the rest of the tribe when the foreigners desecrated our ruins.
I
The
see.
tribes need more leaders like you, women who value deeds over words. You were right. We were too soft when the foreigners first came, and now they humiliate us. We'll be soft no more, and the invaders will learn to leave us alone once and for all.
No. Keep away from us. Leave us!
A large, liver-spotted man, barrel-chested and paunchy, cowers in the far corner, his white hair a tangled, stringy mess. He covers his face and chest with trembling hands, unable to look in your direction. Are you Merwald? He looks up, over his hand, the muscles around his eyes twitching, and begins whispering to himself in hisses, as though having an argument. All at once he stops shaking, a sudden calmness falling over him. His head tilts forward slightly, and he looks you dead in the eye like a cornered animal about to pounce. His voice turns raspy.
Mayor Wald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He has sent for no callers. Be gone, deceiving spirit.
You better start making sense right now, or you'll get worse than any spirit could give.
Mayor Wald will speak with you, but you will maintain your distance, or you'll have me to answer to. Come to speak to Mayor Wald? Mayor Wald whose touch is poison? Mayor Wald who knows not his effect?
I was told I'm a watcher, and that you could tell me more about it. About, a tablet of Semwath after that? I want you to have finished, of course.
A window. Window to the ether, where spirits dwell. Hear and reach into it. Speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, reads them, knows their pasts, souls of the living, souls of the dead, an empath, and the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I. What the gods wanted of me, thought I. The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged. It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners. Little I knew.
You seem to have lost your mind.
Lost? No. Found more of it. Too much. Too much to bear. An awakening.
How could a simple awakening have driven you to this? What is an awakening?
Many lifetimes we have. Souls enter womb and exit corpse. Carry with them all experiences, all knowledge, all identities. Yet we do not remember. Hidden from us. What end? What end? Only the gods know. Certain things can stir memories from lives long buried. Awaken the old memories, the old personalities. Memory, personality, identity, any might resurface. Or all.
And I seem to be having a conversation with several of them right now.
Ghosts of the mind. Mayor Wald has lost control. Mayor Wald's body no more.
The spirits I passed, what are they?
Spirits and not spirits. Always whispering to Mayor Wald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own souls. Once Mayor Wald awakened, he could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less.
The spirits are memories from previous lives?
Troubled Memories. Angry memories. Pulling Meowald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier. Soldier and marauder. How could they know?
How do you tell a spirit from a memory?
Fragmented are memories. Stuck in time. Mindless, cruel, never far.
Why do these past lives trouble you?
My fault. All my fault. Soldier and marauder. Soldier and marauder and Meowald. No forgiveness for what's past. No undoing what's done. No sleep. No sleep for the Watcher. War there was all around. War of stone. War of tree.
War of Tree. Ah, of course, the Broken Stone War and the War of Black Trees. This was in the early period of the Aderian colonization, fighting between the Deerwood colonists and the native Glenfathians, you see, but that was a long time ago.
Death we brought to the settler men. We, the 9 claws. Claws of 9. Worse what we did to the women. For love of the gods. The gods' love. For their love.
I met one of your memory spirits. There was talk of raiding a village.
Hold her down. Head her. Give this Adia bitch an heir that belongs in Air Glodfath.
His soul is marked by flame, and those marks will never heal. His trial has broken him, but better that than to live in weakness.
Keep talking. I'm enjoying this.
The boy. The boy. The baby boy. The boy. Conceived in the raid. Conceived by force. Vessel for Marauder. Slain in the raid. Marauder and the boy. Marauder and soldier.
A baby conceived by the raider. What do you mean it was a vessel for him?
For the soul. Marauder's soul. Same soul. One soul. Boy's soul. Marauder's soul. Raised in lies and vengeance. Raised to soldier. Raised for the fire. Born for the fire.
Then that was his mother I met in the keep. She told him his father was killed by the raiders.
You'll get no pity from me. The crimes of the 9 Claws clan in the last war are still unavenged. But the gods are just. They have led me here. In my father's name, every one of you will burn. Light it.
Bay the Usher's crooked bond.
Soldier and marauder, lies and vengeance, and dead villages. All dead. All dead. What for? What for?
You speak in riddles I don't have the patience to try and understand.
How little we know.
I've seen apparitions like those elsewhere since I became a watcher.
No. You too. You too. They will take you too.
Told you a watcher's not to be trusted. What's to be expected when one makes a habit of seeing what's not meant for mortal eyes, if not madness? Looks as though our journey together may be a short one.
You're saying I'll end up like you.
So fragile, the Watcher's mind. So real, his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep?
If I'm awakened to a past life, how would that have happened?
You were reminded of it. Strong memories, lingering lives, they dwell near the surface, waiting to be remembered, waiting to take your mind for their own. Meowald sat at his hearth and watched his fire, watched the wood burn. Then came the memory of another fire and burning wood and screams.
There must be some way to make these memories go away.
No. Always there. Always remembered. Can't forget. Can't unsee.
I didn't just remember. Someone caused this. They wore masks and spoke of books and keys and a queen. There was a man there. He seemed familiar to me.
Keys of lead. Books of burden. Queens that were. Known to me are they. The leaden key.
Leaden key? Seems we share an enemy. Assassins and watcher wakers both. They certainly keep busy. What can you tell me about this leaden key?
Secrets. Secrets and deceptions and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of watchers. Hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets.
Who is this queen they pray to?
Woodica, goddess, crown shattered and body burned. Binder of oaths and grudge holder. Bearer of justice. But whose?
The leaden key caused my awakening. Could they undo it?
Many secrets do they keep. Unawaken? Mayhap. Who else if not they?
Do you know where I might find this leaden key?
City of Defiance. Never far from the Queen.
Then I head there.
Sleep well. Sleep well. Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Adir land thieves than take orders from me.
I don't have time for this. I will beat you senseless, old man.
Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowayne's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
There is a change in the air. What was thick, suffocating, now feels more breathable, as though yielding to a conquering invader. Merwald's body lies inert. You can feel his soul lingering there, uncertain. There is something unique about this soul in this place, a bond formed in decades of inhabitants and lordship that feels somehow palpable, as though even in death, the keep knows its former master, and the former master remembers his keep. In your mind's eye, the bond seems to you as a frayed rope, ghostly and alive. Its frayed ends writhing like tide-pool anemones, and you find that if you concentrate on it, you have the ability to manipulate its strands. Draw upon the energy itself, siphoning knowledge from the connection. You turn both ends towards you, bringing them into contact with your essence, and as you do, the fiber turns to copper, and through them an energy is conducted into your being. You are traveling downward now, beneath the place you stand, seeing places dank and cobwebbed and malignant, like some untended garden overgrown with flora and fauna, and overrun with vermin. Below everything at the very bottom, you glimpse for an instant some being you can't quite make out, presiding it over it all with a brilliant and terrifying power. One image remains in your perception, a circular room with a stone table that resembles the sun, and an area guarded by suits of armor that move of their own volition. It is deep, not far from the very bottom. There is a door in that room, invisible to all but the most fastidious of eyes, and beyond it, something shimmering, something powerful. As the image fades, you find yourself in Caed Noir once more. Maywad's soul is nowhere to be seen.
What is it?
I felt Mayorwald's passing. You slew him.
That old fool was barking mad. I did him a favor.
It saddens me to hear it. But part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in darkness. This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will all its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Mayorwald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands, it could be so much more. If you had only seen it in its day. Will you stay?
I've always wanted my own keep, even if it is a little cursed. Then it is yours, my lord. I cannot begin to tell you how glad that is. How good it is to know that the keep is in capable hands once again. I suppose I should mention first that if you mean to travel to Defiance Bay for supplies, there has been a complication. The Eastern Barbican collapsed decades ago, and Mayorwald never got around to rebuilding it. The road here is a dead end. He got as far as gathering materials before he became preoccupied. I could make arrangements to have it repaired if it is your will. When it ceased to be the previous master's, I became powerless to do anything about it. For what am I but the master's instrument? It would take time, but far less than finding another route to Defiance Bay. How do I repair it? Mayorwald set aside materials for the Barbican, and they are still available. In the future, if you wish to make further repairs, we'll need coin for supplies and labor. What does being the master of Caed Noir entail? Why, there are many responsibilities involved in maintaining a keep. The extent of which you wish to get involved is entirely up to you, of course. Part of the reason I am here is to ensure that things run smoothly in your absence, provided we have been given instruction. If you instruct me on which repairs you wish to conduct next, I will make the necessary arrangements. These may take some time to finish, but each will provide you with additional resources once they are completed. Given somewhere to place them, we can hire tradesmen to provide you with supplies or ingredients. Repairing the keep will raise your prestige, and draw both helpful individuals and unwelcome attention from bandits and opportunists. If we can raise the keep's security, these will become less of a concern. You should know, however, that the position does come with some risk. Your name will grow in fame, and you must contend with threats, and then there are other things. What did you mean when you said the keep was cursed? Maywald's curse was his own, a watcher's curse, but his predecessors have not fared better. There is a presence within the keep, or rather far beneath it. At least such has been the conclusion drawn by all who have come to this place, for what spirits still linger in the endless paths oft speak of a master below. Every effort to settle here has failed. From the time of our Aediran colonists onward, beasts rise from the endless paths until the lord or lady is no more. The one who dwells below, this master, does not tolerate rivals, it seems. I have seen from time to time intrepid explorers descend to lay claim to what answers they can, but none return. This is the force which has kept Caed Noir a barren ruin and robbed me of my hope. The endless paths, that, my friend, is where I must go, where we must go, if you will go with me. Whatever devils lie beneath, think too of the knowledge we will find. Perhaps this master speaks of Aediran. What are the endless paths? The endless paths of Old Noir. That is the name given to the labyrinth beneath the keep. The Earl, we were warned by the Glenfathens that this site was cursed, and there is a legend attached to it, though at the time we thought nothing of it. The ruins were built, it is said, by a powerful Engwithan named Old Noir, who ruled here until his people turned against him. They destroyed his endless paths and filled many of the upper tunnels, with soil and stone. No one living know how far down the tunnel stretch, and few who have ventured there have returned. There is much talk of riches and treasure. The promise of Anguithian relics alone has drawn many fortune seekers. To their deaths, I fear.
Who is this master below?
I could not say with any certainty. I believe it is tied to the man said to have been the architect of the Endless Paths, the Anguithian tyrant Ad Noir. Some claim his spirit endures, or at least has laid a curse upon the site. I cannot imagine much remains of his work, for the ruins have been here 1,000 years or more, but what is left is impressive. The Earl certainly thought so.
But am I not the master of Caed Noir?
Of course you are. The keep would have no other. But the Endless Paths are a different thing entirely. It is unfortunate, really, that they are so closely intertwined. If the master below is not dealt with, there will always be a threat to the keep from within. I know it is much to take in, but if you would remain, if you would be lord of this place, then I can only advise you seek out this foe before it destroys you.
Time to find this queen in the City of Defiance.
You must know this queen you're looking for. Defiance Bay has no queen. The Maywinds of Ader haven't reigned here since the war. The only queen with any power there is Wodica. I'm told they erected an exquisite temple in her honor there, but I was never able to see it. If you mean to go there, we can get started right away on repairing the Barbican. You need only tell me what you wish to do, and I'll make the necessary arrangements. Maywald kept a ledger as it happens, and I have taken the liberty of updating it. You could take a look if you wish, and I'll see you next time.